It's really great to be here. I know some of you are disappointed this is not Alopecia Awareness Night. We're not going to be trying to raise money for alopecia, so just want to clarify real quick, if you came here for that, you're in the wrong space. Now, Sporty's has been around servicing the local community for 20 years. That's something that Jada cannot say to Will. Okay? We don't hit Will Smith fucking hard tonight. Shit like that cannot go unanswered. We also, yeah, he's gonna slap me. I wish that Chris Rock would have tackled that motherfucker. Oh, he didn't have to hit him with comedy. It's all good. Now, we have a sponsor. It's BJ's Automotive. So if anybody knows who that is, that's across the street, out the way, there are a lot of car shops. So if you want to get your car fixed, everybody's got car phones, go see them, support local companies, support Sporty, support live companies. We have an amazing lineup tonight of comics here. And the goal here tonight is to make you laugh. It's not to upset you. This is not the Oscar. This is Sporty's in Everett on a Saturday night, right? We're here to laugh. And so I just want to take a moment and just, think about where you're at. You've been working all week. It's time to let the hair down. It's time to relax, right? It's time to relax and have some fun. If you get offended, please just let it go. Please let it go, because the next joke is going to hit you, okay? We're going to have some fun tonight. And no approaching the mic stand. This thing is heavy. All right? All right. So with that, we also have a tip jar. If you appreciate comedy, you'll see the front of it. It says, just the tip, please. No, just kidding. I'll take the whole thing. Thank you for coming. If you want to show some love, she don't take it home. We got any single people in the crowd right now? Yeah, there we go. So if you feel the love and you want to donate, cool. If you don't, just have fun, relax, we'll be going around. Don't piss in them, please. Alright, so enough about Will Smith, right? Actually, there's one more. So, I didn't know what alopecia... Oh, yeah, Tipper. Yeah, we got Tipper. Hey, we got a Tipper. I'm gonna put this out here. Now, Sunday night was a trip. The Oscars. Now, thank you. We got another Tipper. We got Tippers coming. I feel like I need to start dancing on this pole. Is that what we're doing here? The dancing is on. Hey, whatever pays the bills. Hey, there we go. Thank you. Hey, I'm going to take this second and tell you guys, I'm from Everett. So I'm really proud to be here from Everett, in Everett, doing a comedy show. This is freaking awesome. Okay, so we're talking about the Oscars. The Oscars taught me something. And we saw a lot of crazy stuff happening. And when the Oscars came on, I learned that Will Smith's wife has alopecia. And apparently, you're not supposed to joke about this, right? And we learned we're not supposed to joke about alopecia. And I was like, damn, I'm ignorant as fuck, because I don't even know what this is. It sounds like it's something really serious. So I went home and I Googled it, and it is this very serious medical condition where you lose your hair. Which is like, okay, that's not really serious. Like, this bitch could have just bought a wig, but she showed up all looking like a Cuba on my choice, right? And I'm like, okay, so as a woman, y'all gotta shave all these places, right? And if you have alopecia, you don't have to worry about that. To me, keep my wife fucking name! We don't replay this. So, if you have alopecia, I figure it's a nice thing because you can save money on shaving cream and razors, right? You don't have to worry about taking care of all these areas. I mean, it's a good thing that Epstein said that he'd be trying to recruit that girl to go to a sex island, right? No, and I tell you, when I saw Chris Rock get slapped by Will Smith, it confirmed that regardless of alopecia or no alopecia, in that marriage, there is still one giant hairy pussy in it, and his name is Will fucking Smith. So let's say, fuck Will Smith. Fuck Will Smith. That's right, okay. Number Number 2, Netflix is coming out with a documentary already on this damn thing. On this Chris Will thing. They're already coming out with a documentary. And it's going to be called When Your Wife Fucks a Bunch of Dudes and You Slap a Comedian in Retribution When You Should Have Divorced Her Whole Ass. That's the name of the documentary. And I can tell you guys, I'm 100% better than Will Smith because when my first wife fucked a bunch of dudes, I divorced her whole ass. I did that. I went through that. I ain't fucking right. So we're going to move off of that. Now, we're going to move from Will Smith to something more exciting. What camp are y'all in? Kanye or Pete Davidson? We got Steve. Anybody here in Kanye camp? Fuck no. Fuck Kanye. Pete Davidson? Yeah, Pete, right? We want to take care of our comedian brother, right? Myself, I'm split in between the two, and I'm actually more concerned with the kids. Like, what is it like to be a kid of Kanye West these days? Number 1, you got a fucked up name. You got like North Chicago, whatever the hell. You got 2 names by Bible verses. But if you think about it, my dad thinks he's God. My mom has more plastic going on than Barbie. Right? And she's sleeping with a monster that lives under the fucking bed. And you'll see Pete Davidson, he looks like all the characters from Monsters Inc. mashed into one, right? He looks like a monster. And my grandmother is a fucking transformer. What the fuck? These kids are going to need psychological help. And I get that Jerry Springer and Lori Goldrich are retired, so if they haven't been busted any mess, they need to start because we need their kids to get on TV and take care of Kanye's crazy kids. We don't need Kanye's crazy kids taking over the fucking airways. I don't want to mess with that. Now, you guys kind of got I'm divorced, so I got the joy of being in my mid-30s going through dating. And dating is a trippy thing. Like being the decade out of dating and going back in, I was just like, it's all like app. You have to swipe left or right. Apparently, I swiped too many ways the wrong way, and I got all these ugly chicks checking out. So I was like, okay, I need to hold this back. And I started dating a lot, and I realized that when my friends told me that there's plenty of fish in the sea, they neglected to tell me that 90% of them are dead fish in the bedroom. Like, there's some vanilla, boring-ass relationships out there. So I had to be quite a bit more picky when I started dating people. I had to be upfront with what I desired from a partner intimacy. And I wanted, more than missionary, already to the right? So I told the girls right away when on our first date, we're at Starbucks, I said, hey, I want a type of relationship where I gotta brush my teeth twice after we get done. I know. And they looked at me like, what are you talking about? I said, because I'll be licking that booty. I need that type of relationship. I want to be all up in there, right? Any of you ass eaters? Oh, look at how lying motherfucker. Look at you lying motherfucker. No, lying. Because not only is it 4 millimeters between point A and B, it is incredibly dark, and it is incredibly wet down there. So whether you like it or not, unless you have a mag light under the hood of that shirt you're working on, you're a fucking ass eater if you like it or not. Okay. Now, to the end of the story, I ended up finding the right girl. Her name is White Girl Amber, and she's running the DJ tonight, which means she's right behind me. I got the right girl. My girl is like OJ's Italy vehicle. She's a white Bronco. I gotta hold on, right? I gotta hold on. This girl is really, really loving and really caters to what gets us off. So she does a lot of like prep work. We're talking about like shaving up and cleaning up. That's alright. She did some prep work that I did not even understand until she told me. We got ready for sex, and she said, honey, I'm gonna take care of you. And she goes over to her drawer and she opens it, and she takes a Tic Tac bomb out. I'm like, what the hell is she doing with this? She takes the Tic Tac, bends over, and pops it in her butt. I say, what are you doing? She goes, honey, you only have to brush your teeth once now after sex. I say, yeah, that's a good deal. So if she's gonna put in work, I'm gonna put in work. So I returned the favor. I went to the other side of the bed, and I opened it up, and I grabbed the Tic Tacs, and I bent over, and I popped one, and it was cinnamon fire. That was a bad fucking idea. Woo! All right, guys. So I'm gonna wrap up my time. I've been up for way too long. today. So right now, DJ White and Girl Amber's gonna hit the mix, and we are gonna welcome an Ohio native that comes by way of Tacoma, and her name is Keo.
If y'all try to smack my ass, I'm so gonna study your ass. Big Sal's gonna do it, not me. Not me. I'm happy to be here. I'm very happy to be here because we're still out here surviving this damn pandemic. Shit. I forgot what I was about to say. I had too many Kettle Ones. Anyway, yeah, we're out here surviving the pandemic, maskless, legally maskless now. Shit is crazy. They had us out here looking like a blanket. And not a blanket, but blanket. Michael Jackson's son. Shit. Mike knew. Like, his dad, like, when you was younger, and your parents were like, you keep going, I'm gonna smack you next week. His dad smacked his ass into 2020. He just didn't know it. He was like, oh, I'm just gonna start wearing masks and shit. So, yeah, Mike motherfucking knew. Will Smith ain't got shit on Joe Jackson. Dads are weird like that. Speaking of dads, and I say that as a mom because I have 3 sons. One thing I learned about my kids during this pandemic is that they watch porn. It was hard. Why y'all laughing? This shit is not funny. It is very hard for a mom to find out that my kids watch porn. Two of them. I have 2 teenagers. So I called myself calling their dad to let him know, and he was like nonchalant and very proud. I'm like, you need to talk to them because they're watching porn. He was like, that's my boys. What was they watching? I'm like, shit, I don't know, big booty hoes. That's the right one. Shit is crazy. So I have an 8-year-old, and I'm trying to keep him away from the heathens. Like, that's how I spend my time. I said I can save one. The other 2, they're lost cause. They're with their daddy. But it was weird how I found out they watched porn. Like, I didn't catch them watching porn. Like, it was just so weird. It was during the pandemic. We stuck in the house together, and we're doing a little pandemically cleaner. So we're cleaning up. And as a mom, all moms know we ear hustle. Like, we're in the room, we're always listening. So I hear them arguing. Like, you get it. No, you get it. No, you get it. So I tiptoe. Around the corner to see what they're talking about, and they say my youngest son's name. They're like, Austin. So before they can take his ass, I'm like, what y'all doing? Come to find out, mind you guys, I'm 37. So I developed a couple aches and pains, like my neck, in my back. Oh, y'all know that song? My neck. Yeah, but shit, y'all know. So my neck and my back be hurting, like for real. And I have this little thing that I use. It makes a sound like. It's a neck massager, okay? It's a neck walk in, I snatch my shit up because they're like, Austin, get it. So it's only things that you know if you watch porn. So I went in there and I snatched my neck massager up. And at that moment, that's when I knew my kids watch porn. Like, and it all makes sense because my fucking Jergens lotion was gone. My Bath and Body lotion was gone. And it was smelling like warm summer breezes. I'm like, that's not Axe. Y'all supposed to smell like little fuck boys. Y'all smell very dainty. Yeah, but so the pandemic was for me was a little awkward as fuck. You know, they're walking around the house judging me because they think I do self-care. Like, and I'm walking around the house judging them because they're jacking off, and I'm just like, I can't wait for this shit to be over. So that's what I'm doing. Y'all pray for me. I'm trying to get through it. I'm really am. But, I mean, I don't have shit else to say. The time's winding down, but I'm your opener, so enjoy the rest of the show. We have a great lineup. Like Ray produced it, so shout out to him. And that is my time. My name is Kiana from Downtown Ohio. Go Buckeyes!
All right, let's give it up for Kiana one more time. All right, she had a lot to say. I had an experience like that going through with my girlfriend's kids. My girlfriend's son had a ball injury. He was saying it was hurting, like he didn't know what to do. I said, just don't worry about it. He needs to rub one out. 3 weeks later, he's still got the problem. So I tried to fix the kid, the issue for the kid, and I get him a swimsuit calendar. And I gave it to him, and he was excited. I said, okay, go use it. So he ends up using the thing, but I forgot to give him the instructions, which is to lock your door. Mama Bear then opened the door, looked in, and caught him in the act. She was smart though. She said, hands up, don't shoot, and it stopped it, so it was great. All right, guys. Now, our next comic is coming from, he's a born and raised native of this local area. He's a brilliant writer. He's going to make you laugh. Give it up for Mitch.
Give it up for Ricky, guys. This is funny. This is awesome.
Yeah, do what?
What's that?
Oh, you dropped the thing. It's over here, bro.
It's alright, we'll survive. Thanks, Rick. How you guys doing? What's up, Sporties? Completely just killed the momentum in this room. We're all like, hey! Alright, now I'm up here. It's been a good week, man. I'm glad to be here. I like this bar. I like bars. I like going to this. I was at a bar the other day. It had a sign. I went to the bathroom. It had a sign above the toilet and said, "Please be gentle on our vintage plumbing." This was weird to say. I was going down on the 60-year-old. She had a tattoo that said the same thing. Right above the vagina. It's one of those tattoos. This is a great place. It hasn't been all bad on the week though, man. I got some good news. I'm gonna be on Seattle's local version of Naked and Afraid. I don't know if you guys have heard of this. It's called Homeless and Alone. I'll fuck with you. This is called Homeless and Currently Looking for Another 10. Used REI. You guys ever played the Google game? No. Alright, I'm gonna explain the Google game. I used to play the Google game as a kid. Where you get on your computer and you get on Google and you slam your head on the keyboard, and you press search, and you see how many of the top options will come up as local tribe names. Alright, people, relax. It's alright, relax. I'm Native American. But it's alright, you can fucking laugh at that shit. I'm done being Native American though, honestly, dude. I'm just done with it. I'm 24. I'm about to retire from it. I feel like it's a good time to retire from being Native American right now. You know what I'm saying? I have weird conversations with people. Sometimes people find out you're Native American by like no choice of your own. Like my coworker, he comes up to me. He's like, "Hey, Mitch, dude, are you still doing stand-up comedy?" And I said, "Yeah, man. I'm going up later tonight." And he's like, "Dude, that is fucking awesome. Let me speak you some game. Here's what you should do. You should go up on stage and talk about what it's like being Chinese in an all-black warehouse." I was like, "I'm not Chinese, man." He's like, "You're not?" I said, "No, I'm Native American." He said, "What the fuck are you gonna talk about on the stage then?" I was like, I'll just talk about being Chinese, I guess. It's not funny being Native American. I don't know, he just didn't think it was funny being Native American. And they didn't, I did that joke in Seattle, and they're a bunch of tight assholes, they don't fucking like that. No, this woman comes up to me after the show, she's like, "You should never do that joke again." I was like, "Why not?" She's like, "How much Indian even are you?" I was like, "Hand me that breathalyzer and we'll find out." It's somewhere between 0.08 and a quarter, if you want to know. Actually, if there's any other Native people in here, I have advice. There's a place in Seattle that's called Scotch and Soda. And this business, well, I went in and I was drunk. And it's called Scotch and Soda, so I went up to the counter. I was like, "Hey man, can I get a Jameson ginger ale?" And he's like, "This is retail." I was like, "Oh, okay, can I get a bottle of Jameson then, please?" He was like, "We sell clothing here." I was like, I hate this place. I'm done being here. I hate that place, I hate that business, and I hate the Nordstrom bar. Who the fuck puts a bar in a high-end retail store and then cuts me off at 9 beers? Really? There wasn't even like the good 9 beers in. I was like pissing in the Balenciaga booth. I was trying to finger fuck the mannequins. It wasn't the good 9 beers in. You guys ever have like a bad day and it's like a shitty day and hang on. You start like finding yourself doing shitty things because you're having a shitty day? You ever had such a shitty day that you like come in a KFC chicken wrapper? No, it's like, because you see it, it's like the only other thing on your like computer table, you're like, "Oh, I don't care if I come in that." The only thing sadder than coming in the KFC chicken wrapper is the moments that precede coming in the KFC chicken wrapper. When you look down at a cum-covered chicken cutlet, and it starts becoming like ambiguous, like what is ranch, and what could have been like 8 to 10 million could have like been people. Colonel Sanders is like looking up at you like from that wrapper. It's a sad moment. Speaking of cum and grown-up cum, I'm glad, look, I'm 24, right? I'm glad some of my constituents at 24 aren't parents, dude. No, I am. I'm glad, because I remember being like a kid and looking up at 24-year-old people. I'm like, wow, they're like old. Those people are like, they can have kids. And now that I'm 24, I look at my constituents and I'm like, fuck no. Fuck no. I'm glad. No, my friend was telling me she wanted kids, and she told me like this. She's like, "I just want a baby." And I do that action because she was doing cocaine off of one of 2 dinner plates that I own. I'm 24. I still only own 2 dinner plates, dude. If one of those dinner plates is dirty, where the fuck is that baby gonna eat? I'm just saying, you know, if one of them's dirty, because I know that baby's not gonna be breastfeeding off the women that I fuck. I know these women, they come off the titty blowing a .08, man. That one's a tough sell. It's all right. We're getting through it. We're getting through it. I like Jackass. You guys like the movie Jackass? Hell yeah, dude. I love that. I love the whole, every single fucking one. I love the Streets Gets the Most. You guys see that one where they went in the bar and all the midgets came in and started fighting? Dude, that shit was fucking great. I feel like if they did that in like the Everett area, they would get some like great reactions from people, right? Hell yeah. And people are so tight in Seattle, dude. I feel like if they did it in Seattle, they'd have even better reactions. Like they go up like in downtown Seattle, like you know, I'm Johnny Knoxville, and this is try to say hi to a feminist. They're like in downtown, they're like, we're here on 3rd Avenue, and this is staying too close to a heroin addict. I think sometimes heroin addicts are fucking rude, dude. No, I'm gonna be honest, I know you're not supposed to say that shit, but no, I was talking with this heroin addict at the bus stop, right? And in the same conversation, I was like, hey man, you know what time the bus is coming? He was like, I was like, hey man, the bus is here, and he was like, I was just saying, you know, to like at least drunk people will talk to you, you know? You ask the same question to a drunk person at the bus stop, you're like, hey man, you know what time the bus is coming? He's like, ah! That's fun. Thank you. I'm not a fan of what's happening in Russia, dude. I think it's a shit's getting obnoxious and annoying. I don't want to see the shit go any further. I don't know, man. I'm kind of scared of like what's going on over there. I don't want to see it go any further. But if it does, I am curious. I'm just saying, like, with the same curiosity that I watch, like, 2 Girls, 1 Cup with, you know? Kind of that, like, it's, like, hard to watch. Like, someone, remember when someone put it on for the first time, you didn't see it, and you, like, you weren't ready, and you're like, oh my god! Oh! And then I came. Oh, boy. That's 9:45. You guys like that? How was that? Was that good? Hell yeah. Alright. Give it up for White Boy Rick, you guys. You all have a good night. This is awesome.
Alright, that's great. That was freaking awesome, man. But I didn't forget to mention that we are giving out prizes. So I wanted to start that because we have some audience members doing a great freaking job. So first of all, this gentleman right here. We're giving a round of applause. And then we got the comic selected someone over here, right here. Thank you for coming and laughing. Alright, so we're coming up to our next special guest. This next special guest is great. I was going to do a joke really quick, but I actually just got an alert on my phone, and I had to check it back there, and it was breaking news from freaking Will Smith today, y'all. This guy cannot get out of the fucking news. This one was different though because it said that the Guinness Book of World Records officially confirmed that at 6'2" and 200 pounds, he is officially the largest piece of shit to come from Italy. How about that? Woo! Alright, so with that, we have Everett from the lovely city of Everett, from our hood, coming down, give it up for comedian AJ Norris!
What is up, you guys? Man, you keep talking about this Will Smith shit like he's ever going to see it. Nobody cares. I know, I love it. I am pro Will Smith. I low-key hope that I go so hard tonight that one of you feels called to come and jump right across the face. That's my hope for me. Yeah, like I said, my name is AJ. I will be your token queer. Like Mitch, I am also native, but like a Elizabeth Warren amount. Almost not worth bringing up, really. I came out to my family like a year ago. That was fun. I'm from Arkansas, if you couldn't tell from this lovely little lack of an accent. Yeah, no, we're okay. I think my mom's exact words were, "I don't get it, but I love you." Which kind of works for me, you know, since that's exactly how I feel about her being a Baptist. The only person in my family I didn't come out to was my grandpa. He was older, I didn't want to ruin that again. I didn't tell, but I recently found out that when he goes to church, he carries a little picture of me in his wallet, and he whips it out and he goes, "This is Angel, my oldest grandkid. She's a real tomboy." So on some level he gets it. I am here from Everett at Via, Arkansas. I live here now. It was a pretty easy transition, you know. I was like, "Oh, how's Seattle?" I'm like, "No, it's Everett." It's fine. There was none in Arkansas, there's none here. I love it. I don't know that. That's a misleading. No, I do live here. I live with the gentrification spots. On one side is a cute little hetero couple. They've got a yellow flag. His name is Brew. On the other side is a halfway house. They have a coke dealer named Brew. I know it's a coke because every once in a while a car that's just a little too nice comes out of that alley. Like, yeah, no one would ever drives a Tesla. We know what you're doing, and you're not sharing. So much for trickle down economics. I think that's like the drip that rich people get. Do that too, Oh man, I am married. Anyone here married? No, not a single married person in this crowd today. Yeah, that's what I heard. Somebody's married. I've been married for 5 years. Thank you. Yeah, it would have been 4, but I am really dragging my feet on the stools. I was worried about telling my family. I was worried they weren't going to support it. Yeah, I got married like super young, right? My mom was concerned that I'm only getting divorced so that I can have sex with women. That's not even the only reason, okay? There were other reasons too. Like, wasn't on my pros list, sure. But so was not having to pretend to care about prog metal anymore. And IPAs. My grandpa was super chill about it. He was on my side. He married the love of his life when he was like 16 years old because it was the 20s and you could do that. And she passed away when my mom was pregnant with me. And in the 25 years since, he's been married and divorced 3 times.
What a legend!
Yeah, seriously. I both, honestly. No, he was super chill. He was like, okay, better luck next time. Here's my one. I grew up in the South, so I still kind of have like Southern tendencies, you know? Like I wouldn't give Big Sal my cornbread. He's the next. No, but one of the major ways that I think I've kind of developed as a person is the Southern goodbye. Saying goodbye to another Southerner is like a feature-length ordeal, right? I've certainly like dialed my goodbyes in from an hour, but it's still kind of like wears off on me. Like I was walking a friend to his car the other day, and he was like went in for that half hug goodbye. I was like, oh, so awkward. He went in for a hug, I went in for 5 to 10 minutes of small talk. I think now I kind of just keep it short, just like, okay, take care. That's what my grandpa says, and as we know, he's woke as fuck, so. Let's see, more about me. I'm a vet tech. Okay. Did you say vet techs suck?
What's up?
Okay, yeah, good save, buddy. Okay. No, I'm a vet tech. I had a dog in the other day for surgery. He was super fluffy, and I hadn't had much to do, so I nicely brush out the dog, right? So I'm brushing along, and my phone snags on something, and I reach down and pluck out a nugget of weed. Now the stoner in me was excited, but the weed in me was more excited. Put it in the baggie, waited for discharge. Have the owner come into the room. He sits on the bench. I come in and close the door. Ricky had this on him today. Were you aware that your son was holding? Are you aware of the effects of marijuana on the brain of a young dog, on his body? Now I'm gonna let you off with a warning, but you are gonna have to wear it home for 2 weeks. I love my job. Can I tell you guys a kind of gross story? It's funny, I promise. Let's do it. I had a really fun appointment come into work the other day. People at the bar, it has been asked of me to tell you to shut up before my story. Thank you. Alright, so this guy comes into the dog, right? And the dog's really sick, he's throwing up, he's having diarrhea, he's not wanting to eat. And I'm looking at the guy, and I'm looking at the dog. And this dog looks kind of dumb. Sir, does your dog ever eat things that he shouldn't? Toys, clothes, rocks. My dog would never eat a rock. He is a Chesapeake Bay Retriever, which is a very intelligent breed. they know not to eat rocks. So we're in surgery to get the rock out of the tub. And the surgeon finds the rock in the colon, which you don't really want to cut into. So she says, okay, let's push it out. The fun thing about this is you can't really push it all the way out from inside the dome. Lucky me. Who has small hands and is good. So I walk into surgery, gloved up, lubed up because I am a professional. And I just get knuckle deep into this tub. And I'm kind of just flicking the corner of the rock. The surgeon goes, oh, I feel you. So I pull out, get the middle finger, get back in there. That's the difference between the tickle and the skin, right? Dislodge the rock and pull it out. I think the takeaway here, we can all agree, is if you're having trouble getting your partner to shit a rock, that extra half-inch can be particularly helpful. Thank you all so much for having me. This has been so much fun. It was a great room. It was great. Thank you all so much.
I love that she refuses to call me white boy Rick. She's like, give it up for Rick. We don't want to know this for Rick. All right. So, how y'all feeling? We having fun? Okay. So, if you're wondering how giveaways are handled, they're handled when I talk to a comedian and ask who is giving them love and playing with them and having fun. So, the next winner comes from the half Bigfoot looking dude over here. Are you gonna bite me? You're not gonna bite me, right? Okay, give it to him. Let's give it a round of applause. We got a winner in there. Alright, so we've got our feature coming up. Our feature is going to be a brilliant comedian coming up. And before that, I was going to tell you a joke. What's the difference between an apple and an asshole?
Oh, they both taste it.
I stop eating the apple when it gets to the core. And we know Will Smith is not an apple. Alright, guys. So with that, by way of North Carolina, rounding through Tacoma, I have the privilege to bring up my dark chocolate brother from another mother. He goes by Big Sal. Give it up.
Hey, whoa. Listen. I know I ain't famous, but I need a better introduction than that. So we're gonna do this again, bro. Rick, this year my name.
Yo, it's Big Sal!
Let me talk to the crowd here. I want to talk to you. What's up, y'all? I'm Big Sal. I ain't from North Carolina. I'm from South Carolina. He fucked that up. I worked all this time. Wow. Back up on the camera. Back up on the camera a little bit. My bad. He fucked that all the way up. I was down there this here, Madison. I got lost on Madison. One of them country boys, good old boys came out the back. The bitch had the deer still tied to the four-wheeler. I was like, where we about to go? They go down there. And the deer was jerking, trying to get off the motherfucking four-wheeler. Fuck y'all, man. Let's take a shot. Take a shot for panty liners and baby wipes for keeping my drawers clean. All right, first of all, like I said, I'm from South Carolina, and when I got here, it was March. In March, and you know it's real foggy and the clouds are way down, right? So I never saw this big ass hill that y'all had. So one morning, I'm taking my little cousins to school, and all of a sudden, a big ass hill just popped out of nowhere. And what's the name of it? Rainier? Yeah. Who the fuck named hills? How the fuck would you name a hill? That's stupid as fuck. So I'm sitting there, and I called my cousin on the phone. I said, hey, bro, it's a big ass iceberg coming across the street right here. I see it. He said, an iceberg? I said, yeah, man, I'm gonna slide. I don't know what the hell going on. He said, ain't no fucking iceberg coming across. I said, it's an ice mountain. It's a volcano with ice on it. He was like, oh, mountain. He said, I'm gonna be there the whole time. I said, well, you should have told me it was there. I thought you seen it. But you know the crazy thing about it? It looked like everything I fucking named, the iceberg, the ice mountain, and everything. Fuck y'all, man. For me, if you ain't never seen one, let's take another shot.
South Carolina, they call them like Harold. In Washington State, they call them mountains.
Ooh, that's true. You get an A, y'all.
I've been to South Carolina.
All right, we're gonna take a shot for the sidewalk. Keep me out the street. Yeah, out the street. All right, let's go. Give a clap it up for weight loss. Let's go. Let's go. I don't know why y'all talking about weight loss. I ain't lost nothing. I've been taking up juju lately. Yeah, I've been working on. I done mastered one move. The pork chop. Fuck y'all, right? Y'all thought I was gonna say some shit. For real. Like, for diet art. And the dog came to see the show too. Give it up for the dog. All right, so who dating here? Anybody? Y'all dating? Beautiful. Listen, I dated this girl once with no legs. Get for real, man. Shut up. She was an athlete too. Don't be laughing at my big shit hard. She was an athlete. She was in the Paralympics. And all her friends were athletes too. And they ain't had no legs too. But they won the championship. They would heat paper roll down the championship. I might go to hell for this. And then the shit was. My girl, all right, we're gonna start it over for the slow class over here. This man, my girlfriend was in the Paralympics, and she played basketball. So she broke it. Ooh, all right. Yeah, but they won the championship. And they had a banquet. What's a banquet?
Wait, what?
What's a banquet?
A banquet?
Yeah.
A buffet?
No. What? It's a party, right? Yeah. Long story short, the party was crawling with pussy. No legs. What did you learn here today? Be careful who you kick it with. I ain't fucking. I'm gonna talk loud.
Banquet.
You said, no, what? How can you turn his mic down? I'm struggling with it. Hey. All right. We're gonna take a shot and I'm gonna get to what I need to tell you. We're gonna take a shot for Walmart. For not having no cameras on the grocery side so we can steal some shit. All right. Fuck what I look like. I went to school to be a teacher, okay? So this is gonna be a lesson today, all right? This is a lesson on female anatomy. They got two things. Well, I got some. They got two things on their chest. You feel me? They got two things on their chest. And it's a base, an areola, and a nipple. Okay? What is it? Base? Say it with me. Areola, nipple. Base, areola, nipple. All right, take the base out. Take the nipple out. The areola. So, you know, like when you heat bacon up, it starts popping. So you heat something up, the little thing on the areola. Yeah, that's Brew. That is a titty Brew. It's the little bumps on the areola. It's titty. That's what the blind people. I take my glasses off. I'm good as fuck at night. Fuck y'all, man. This shit ain't funny. What is wrong with y'all? We're gonna take another shot for Evan. Because we could have been perfect. Alright, I got some shit. I got something else to tell you. I've been watching a lot of TV lately. I was watching my 600-pound lifestyle lately. Don't you fucking do it. Don't you fucking do it. I was eating Jack in the Box at the time I was eating shit, right? I'm on there, I'm mad as fuck. And they always come on there crying. Shit, let me show you how. She was some fat lady. Oh man. And they started crying. Oh my God. I don't know how I got like this. I really don't. But Buck love me. I always motherfucker watching him too. Buck love me so fucking much. I really don't got how I got like this. So I'm sitting there eating some of the tiny tacos and drinking about it. In disgust. I'm in disgust too. Listen, I'm in the fucking disgust. I was so fucking mad. I said, shut up, bitch. You know how you got like that. You enjoy every little morsel. And all the little, she had all the little sweet drizzle. She had a drizzle. Man, take a shot. You know every fucking morsel. I ain't never met a chicken wing I ain't like. Take a shot of chicken wings, but you could be eating ostrich. All right, listen. I told y'all I went to school, right? So when I went to school, I didn't know what I wanted to be. So I took a clinical as an eye doctor. You feel me? If you ain't never had an eye exam, your mama ain't shit because it's supposed to be done. So you lean back and you think, you know how an eye exam works, right? You think, right, think. So she couldn't see, but the doctor was in there and the lights was off. And I'm telling him, I'm trying to listen to Bill Cosby, and we supposed to be in here. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of, white boys, why y'all kill the bitch and then have sex with her? I like my fish literally. Let me swear your fingers. This is like a bomb full of them. You can't boy. So then he flicked and then she couldn't see. So when she couldn't see, he got pissed off. So he ripped his pants around. And I'm like, oh shit. He said, you see this? She said, Mama, I do. He said, bitch, you cockeyed. Fuck y'all, that shit ain't funny. Take another shot. for nasty ass white boys with mesotheliac fetishes. Look, the soul players know the fucking word, man. I ain't no shit out of here. Goddamn soul kid. Hold on, we gonna help you, y'all. One fish, two fish. Red fish, blue fish. Knick-knack, shut the fuck. Listen. Alright. Let's get to it. First off, I want to tell y'all about at work the other day. You know, Taco Bell got a nacho fries there, right? Well, I was in love when I seen that. Ooh, man. I seen the nacho fries. And y'all ever seen a baby raven or a baby crow? Right, me neither. They only come and piss your ass offside like this fucking night. Anyway, so I put the fries on top of the fucking truck. And then, so I was going to clean my hands, and listen, I was going to clean my hands, and the motherfucking bird started eating my food, and I fell. So I'm on the ground, and I'm not even mad about the fucking fries no more. I'm just mad that I ain't been in the gym, and I'm wondering how my girl loves me, and I look like this. Like, look at me. Baby, how you love me? You got what I need. But you say just play. I get my quarterback in a minute. Because Seattle needs a quarterback too. Let's take another shot. Everett, I love y'all, man. I'm Big Sal. I love y'all on everything. Alright, give it up for Big Sal. Hey, Sal, there we go. His rookie did one push-up today. You see that right there? Alright, we got one push-up. We got like 50 more to go. Let's go. They didn't think I was gonna get up. Alright, enough of the Will Smith shit, right? So Will Smith actually is a boycotting hostess. He's boycotting hostess. Because he's so sick of seeing ding-dongs in Jada's mouth. How about that? Oh! Alright, guys. You have made it. You have made it to the headline. You have made it to the feature presentation. You have made it to the headliner. This headliner is a certified killer coming from California, all the way to Florida. Proof that good things can come from Florida and Los Angeles. I introduce to you Mike Parker.
Oh, how are you doing, Sporties, huh? All right. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be out of Seattle, because in Seattle, I'm surrounded by nothing but dicks. Yeah. Dick's Brewing, Dick's Plumbing, Dick's Sporting Goods, the Seattle Police. Fucking crazy, man. Are there any cops here tonight? Are there any cops here? No? Alright, cool. Are there any undercover cops here tonight? Any undercover? I did that one time in the show, and one dude actually raised his hand, realized what he did, got up and left, you know? And then we all just did a bunch of cocaine, so that was awesome. Best show ever. No. I was excited coming over the bridge. I saw your little sign that said, like the welcome sign. Oh, so nice. It was like, welcome to Everett. At least we're not Marysville, right? I know. I did a show in Marysville recently, and I I did some research and I was trying to find what was the best thing ever come out of Marysville. And did you guys know that the best thing to ever come out of Marysville is any road out of Marysville? In case you guys didn't know. It's crazy because I came here one time. I don't trust Everett. No offense, but I came here to buy a car one time. And I went to one of those pay here places. This guy was I was like, hey man, hook me up with a nice car. And he was like, hey, come check out this BMW. I was like, all right, cool. So I get in the car, I start playing with all the gadgets, and the next thing I know, I peeled this decal off. This dude was putting BMW parts on a Kia. I was like, bro, what are you doing? He goes, what, man? It's a hybrid. I was like, can't trust you guys. Can't trust you. I am getting older. I'm 43 years old, you know, and hey, I know. Thank you. It's great. Here we go again. Here we go again. All right. It is crazy getting older, man. Like, honestly, I realized I was getting older when I was filling out some information online, and it took me like 3 scrolls to get to my age. I was like, fuck, dude, that was crazy, you know? I know, man, it sucks, dude. I hate getting older though, you know, because even though I'm 43 now, I just remember being in like my 20s and my 30s and just feeling invincible. And like, I still feel invincible in my 40s, but it's with the help of Aleve, Zantac, and Viagra. You know what I mean? I don't need to take the Viagra, but I'm not a gambling man, and I ain't starting that, you know? Some of you guys are like, oh shit, thanks for the reminder, guys. I gotta take my pill. Keep my wife happy. I don't know, man. Like, my testosterone levels are down, man. It's crazy. Like, I actually watched that American, what's it called? The American Underdog movie with Kurt Warner. You know, like, dude, and I fucking was crying the whole movie, you know? And I was like, damn, I need some testosterone booster. I was like, well, maybe not. Maybe it's just because it's such a sad movie. But then, like, the State Farm commercial came on, and I started crying then, too. I was like, oh, they're all getting the discount? Oh, that's awesome. It was so sad. It was so sad, man. Like I said, getting older, I started realizing how much, like, life is bullshit, right? Like, think about it. Hello, how y'all doing? Thank you very much for walking by. Not once, but twice. Cool. All right, nice. No, you have wonderful breasts. No, they had chickens. They had chickens. Fried chicken. Did they have fried chicken? I wasn't paying attention. I was looking at their titties. All right. I was trying to do clean material, fuckers. All right. That's crazy. No. Like, I don't know, but I'm starting to realize, like, life is just bullshit, you know? Like, think about love, you know? Like, I think love is bullshit, and I think it's because of Hollywood. Like, I know Hollywood has ruined my perception of what love is. Would you guys agree about that, right? I know, right? Because I have been with my fiance for 2 years, and I can't find one charming, semi-handsome dude to take this bitch off my hands. Where is my Hollywood love story? You know what I'm saying? It's my Hollywood love story. All right. You guys are okay. All right. I know, it is, right? Yeah, no shit. Yeah. I used to work for this headstone company, right? We used to pre-design headstones for like cemeteries, and people would come in, like old people, and they'd want to like kind of take care of that aspect of their life. And one time we had this couple come in. They were about 90 years old, had been married for 60 years, and so they wanted to get a couple headstone. And listen, guys, they've been married for 60 years, and they still got into an argument about which side each was going to be on. You know what I mean? Like, so don't worry about those arguments, guys. It's stupid, right? But the woman won the argument because she ended up where she wanted to be, and that was on the right side, because her epitaph said, "In death, he's all I have left." Like, oh, like that was sweet, right? That was sweet. But she won the argument, but he won the battle because his epitaph said, even in death, this bitch has to be right. Man. We're gonna have to fix this sound. I don't. Alright. I don't know, like I said, I was dating an older woman recently, and we had to break up. And I gotta ask you guys for some dating advice now. How long do you think I have to wait before I can ask out her daughter? Yeah. Now I know I have to wait legally 3 years, but is that long enough? Oh, fuck you guys, that was a good joke. That was a good joke. Fuck you guys. That was a good joke. Yeah. What's up, sir? Yeah, cool. You missed the whole fucking joke, buddy. I love the diversity in this room. Like, I already see like one DUI and a couple face plants. You know, this is beautiful, Albert. I love it. I had an ex-girlfriend tell me recently that when I orgasm, I sound like the cowardly lion from the Wizard of Oz. Right? I know, I didn't believe her, so I had to go to the closet and check one of the tapes and shit, right? And, I'm into old technology, relax, alright? So I was like, Amber, Annabella, oh, cool. But sure enough, I pressed play and there I was, just, why'd you make me do that? It was fucking weird, bro. It was fucking weird, man. Crazy. I've been trying to explore my sexual side recently, right? So I've been going to swingers clubs a lot, right? And I hooked up with this couple. Now, if you ever get into this lifestyle, please communicate with your partners, like what you're into, right? Because what these guys were doing was the cuckold situation. And they didn't tell me that. And if you don't know what the cuckold situation is, it's basically where the woman degrades her man for the bull. And I was the bull that night. I didn't know none of this because she was there all of a sudden giving us both head, and then out of nowhere, she's like, oh my God, isn't my man pathetic? Look how little his dick is. And first of all, I don't like bullies, so I was like, oh bro, don't listen to her, dude. Like, oh, it's not that bad, you know? Like, so I didn't get invited back, right? You know? But he hits me up on Facebook every once in a while, you know? Like, everyone needs that positive reassurance. I think dudes are savages, like dudes just don't give a fuck, right? They'll just be sending unsolicited dick pics to you women, right? No cares in the world. And I gotta be honest, I've never sent a dick pic to a woman once in my life. I swear to God in my life, man. And the reason is because my phone doesn't have panoramic capabilities. Yeah, that's right. 5'9" white dude telling a big dick joke. That's right. I got invited to a housewarming party recently. If you've ever been to a housewarming party, I guess you have to bring like a gift. Is the normal thing, the adult thing to do. And I was looking up and I found a list, and the top 4 items. The first thing is alcohol. That sounds reasonable, right? You have a house, bring alcohol, right? The second one was a house plant. I was like, alright, that's weird. Baked goods, no problem, I'm usually high. The fourth one was olive oil. That's fucking weird, right? Olive oil? Right? Listen, if I'm ever having a housewarming party and one of my friends brings olive oil as a gift, that is the last night of our friendship. I'm not even gonna lie, right? Because one time I actually had a housewarming party and my buddy was like, hey man, can I bring my best friend with me? And I was like, fuck yeah, the more the merrier. This dude showed up with a 6-year-old kid, man. I was like, what the fuck, dude? I would have rather you brought olive oil. You know what I mean? Like, oh, man. Yeah, I'm telling you, like, I don't know, you ever see those signs in those nice neighborhoods down by the sidewalk that says, please drive as if your kids live here? You ever see those signs? Yeah. I fucking jerked the wheel and crashed right into the house. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not taking any chances. You know, I've come this far without kids. Fuck that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna be the Matrix, you know? Not a big fan of grapefruit. I hate grapefruit, you know? Like, listen, if I want something that looked sweet on the outside but was sour on the inside, I would have fucking a kid. You know what I mean? Like, boom, back to kid hating. All right, cool, man. Yeah, we did not. I can't help that I'm a brutally honest person. I can't help it. Like my friend called me over to his house the other day, and he was like, he wanted to show me something that he made, and he was all excited about it and shit. And he's like, oh, what do you think? And I was like, ugh. That looks like some pretty shoddy work, right? And now he's mad at me and he won't talk to me. And I'm like, why are you mad at me, dude? That's your kid. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't like that joke, man. You're like, I thought you were like, yeah, I have an ugly kid, and I didn't feel that at all. You got kids or no? No? Good for you. Fuck yeah, girl. Hell yeah. Is that your man back there? No. Friend zone. Alright, no, I know. Hey, she doesn't have kids. Hey, you know. I went to the best wedding of my life recently, where I won $10,000 on a bet. Yep. It happened right when my best friend said I do to his beautiful bride. I feel a bump on my chest. And I look over and it's his mother with the envelope looking at me talking about, I guess he wasn't gay. You know, so. The joke's on her, I split the money with him and he went and married his boyfriend. That's right. Big three don't live here, guys. That's right, man. I bought a motorcycle recently too, and I didn't even know how to ride it. I just learned that shit on YouTube, right? Fuck it, you can learn anything on YouTube. You can, you know? And I was at a stoplight one time, and this bus was coming, and I got scared because I thought it was coming too fast, so I jumped off the bike, and the bike just fell over, and the bus drove by me, like, what the fuck? You know, like, and then this dude saw that, and he thought I got hit. And he comes running over, he goes, dude, are you okay? Are you okay? I go, I'm fine, man. He goes, are you sure? Because I'm an EMT. And I looked at him and I said, look, buddy, I don't know how an erotic massage therapist is going to help right now, but let's just try to get my bike to the side. Let me see if I need a paramedic, all right, first. And then let's talk about that massage, you know? Speaking of bikes, I used to roll around when I used to live in Florida. I used to drive around in a souped-up scooter, right, on Clearwater Beach. And I used to whip it, dude. I got pulled over one time. I was whipping it so hard. I'm not saying whipping it, like the speed limit is 25 and I was doing like 32, you know what I mean? Like crushing it, dude, right? And so it was on 4th of July, and I was driving around. I used to drive around with this little Captain America mask. I used to keep the pedals off my face. And one time I got pulled over on 4th of July, and this cop was trying to be a dick, right? He's like, hey, guy, did you know that it's illegal to wear anything that's not DOT approved and it's not Halloween? I go, relax, dude, I'm out here just like you fighting crime. You know? He looked at me all weird, he's like, what? You think you're some kind of vigilante or something? I said, no, man, I'm out here looking for bitches, and bitches are evil. I swear to God, he was like, oh, get out of here. It was dope. I think men and women, I think inherently we're the same, we just do things differently. You guys maybe agree with that? Because listen, think about it. Especially like, for example, unwanted pregnancy, right? Unwanted pregnancy, we both have a plan B, right? A woman's plan B is in the form of a little pill, and a man's plan B is changing his name and moving out of state. Some of you ladies felt that shit. You're like, I'm still looking for Steve. He owes me $800. No, it's not. No, that's fine, dude. As I already told you, I'm not from Washington. I'm actually originally from Los Angeles, and I did move here from Florida. And people ask me all the time, why would you ever move here from Florida? And I'm like, have you ever lived in Florida in like July or August? Yeah, right? September or October, you know? November or December. Hang in there, guys. This is a 14-month joke. It's fucking hot, dude, right? It's fucking hot. But my comedy is a lot like Washington weather. There are a lot of lows, there's a few highs, and for the most part, people wish they were somewhere else. You know, like. Before I came out here, though, I actually took my girlfriend out on Lake Washington. We took my boat out for a little relaxation before coming out here. And we had a scary moment because it was a little choppy, and as soon as I dropped anchor, she went overboard. Yeah, and it scared me for a minute because I was like, damn, I hope I tied enough cinder blocks for her. Relax, relax. I did. Yeah. So I'm recently single. Hey, what's up, ladies? Hey, hey, I got a boat. I'm great with building materials. I've been single for a while, about 4 years, and I guess, I don't know, I guess you can't be picky and ugly. That shit don't work, right? So, but I'm a very faithful man, I will tell you that much. Not so much by choice, but because of that TV show Cheaters, right? That's right. Because I can just see it now, being on a date with another woman, and then my girl kicks in the door with a camera crew, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm like, whoa, baby, baby. And then her mom was like, I told you she would catch us. That's right, I'm a motherfucker. That would be a nightmare. That would be a nightmare. I told you, like, I come from Florida, you know, I came here from Florida, and in Florida, we deal with hurricanes all the time. So I was trying to think of a way to save lives. So I said, why don't they just name every hurricane Jesus Christ, right? Because then you have nothing but a bunch of people waiting on a storm that's never going to come. Fuck you. Relax, relax. I can say that joke. I am a believer, and Jesus loves that joke, alright? Relax. Jesus also loves gay people. Don't be fooled by the bullshit, alright? Like I'm telling you, when Jesus does come back, because I am a believer, I guarantee you, out of the 12 disciples, 4 of them are going to be the queer eye for the straight eyes. You know what I mean? Right? Clay Aiken's going to be in it. Ellen, right? Listen, all 12 could be gay, and I'm fine with that because I'm an ally. Alright? My mother was gay, and my aunt was gay. And it wasn't until I was 13 years old that I found out that my mother or my aunt really wasn't my aunt. You know what I mean? So, no, it was awesome. I loved having 2 moms. I loved it. It was awesome, man. Yeah. I like hanging out with gay people, too. I like hanging out with my gay boys, man. My dudes, man. They take care of me, dude. Like, one time I went out to the gay clubs with them, and I had the best time of my life. Like, I had dudes hitting on me, dudes were buying me drinks. This one guy even gave me his number. But guess what? I went home by myself. That's right. And with all the money I came with. I've never felt more like an empowered woman in my life, dude. That shit was awesome. Holy shit. What a good gig, ladies. What a good gig, man. Yeah, I don't know, man. This is cool, dude. I'm one of those people that don't have a lot of exes in their life. Like, I find that weird, you know what I mean? Like, I ran into an ex the other day, and it was super awkward, but I gotta admit, it was well worth the damage to my vehicle. It's because of her, I have a hard time trusting people, you know? Like, she ruined my credit, you know? Like, my credit is so bad now that I now get denied by identity thieves. You know what I mean? That's pretty embarrassing, you know what I mean? Like, it's so bad now that I got denied a credit card at the Dollar Tree yesterday, alright? Well, just, we were some of your eyes lit up, we're like, holy shit, they got a credit card at the Dollar Tree? No, but for this joke, they did. No. I don't even know what that looked like. Can you imagine that? Getting a credit card to the Dollar Tree, right? What would you even do with that? Get like a $1,000 limit? Just go buy a whole new Dollar Tree? You know? Go into business for yourself and shit? Yeah, that's what I would do. Yeah, but, you know, it's because of her I have a hard time trusting people. Like, my friends and my family are like, you need to start trusting people more. And I'm like, fuck that. Because listen, if people are so trustworthy, they would have never had to invent electronic battleship. Right? Now just hear me out. Because back in the day, you used to play with these 2 little suitcases that weren't connected in any way. You had to trust that the person across from you was putting those ships where they next thing I said was going to be a hit. And I said it with confidence, too. I was like, C8. And they were like, miss. I'm like, you damn liar. They had no shifts on the board. I go, what the fuck, man? What are you doing? They go, what? It's the weekend. They're all in port. That is not how we play this game, Grandma. You know what I mean? Like, damn. You guys have been a pretty awesome audience. It's only get much worse from here on out, I'm not lying. So I hope you guys check all your, your sensitivity at the door, you know what I mean? Because these are just jokes. We're just having fun, you know? Like, we're just, like, I don't own a boat, guys, you know what I mean? Like, we're just, that's how good of a rider I am, you know what I mean? So, I'll give you an example. I'm one of those people who believe in karma. I believe things in life, they come full circle. That is why I cannot wait for my dad to develop Parkinson's disease. Yeah. So that when I'm driving him around later in life, I can pull over and whoop his ass in the backseat for not sitting still. I just told you I have 2 moms, guys. I don't even have a dad. You know what I mean? That's how awesome I am. You know? Me and my girlfriend, we've been through 5 abortions together. That is a true story. And the one thing I've learned from it is I'm very persuasive. But don't judge me, sir. It works. I have 0 children, you know? But I do have 6 children. Last one were twins if we were keeping count. Alright, cool. Relax, guys. Don't you fucking tighten up on me now. Don't you fucking tighten up on me now. When I was 9 years old, my dad actually died. And I remember being at his funeral. And I was having all the family members coming up to me and telling me, oh, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. You're the new man in the house. And that shit resonated with me. I took that shit to heart. Because the very first thing that I did when I came home from school the next day was crack open a beer and smack my mother around. Relax, I beat the shit out of myself too, alright? Like, I kept it consistent. Don't worry, my mom's dead. She would have loved that joke, alright? It's fine. Man, on my way here, I was driving up Aurora Avenue, right? And there's fucking hookers everywhere and shit. Holy shit, guys. So that's where I'll be after the show if any of you guys want to hang out. It actually reminded me of this time where I used to pick up this hooker. I used to pick up this hooker all the time. And then this one time when I was dropping her off, I actually looked at her and I said, I think it's about time to get into a car, Mom. She would love that joke too, trust me. I will look up, but she was a lesbian. Just kidding. Of course she's in heaven. Of course she's in heaven. Chilling with Jesus. Jesus and my mom, chilling. Alright, cool. I played 2 years semi-professional basketball. That is a true story. Don't be fooled by the color or the height. I am that good, alright? Like, I'll tell you about the best game I was in. It was about 8 seconds left. Coach put me in and called my number, which means I get to shoot the last shot. I get the inbound. I shake my defender so hard that he falls over. 3, 2, 1. Raise up a 3. Swish. And we still lost by 30. Could have been worse. Could have been 33. You know what I mean? When I say I play, I'm being very generous with that term. I accumulated like 2 minutes in 2 years, you know? Like, I was like the diversity hire of that lady shit, you know? I also spent 2 years in a Florida State prison. That is also a true story. I don't recommend it. I actually gave it 1 star on TripAdvisor. The reason I went to prison, I wasn't paying attention. I was looking down at my phone coming home from work at 3 in the morning. And there was a drunk pedestrian walking in the middle of the road. I never saw him, and I hit him with my car, and I took his life. And guys, people tell you can't put a price on a man's life. And it's not true. That guy was a $500 deductible. That's a good joke, right? That's a good joke. No, I really did. I really spent, in all honesty, I really did. I spent 2 years in prison for hitting the dude and killing him. I've had multiple accidents. I've been in high-speed chases, had multiple tickets. But all in all, I'm still a better driver than any woman in here. So, you know. I'm just playing. We're having fun, right? We're just having fun, you know? Who loves misogyny? Hey, no. Do you guys know why it's called history and not her story? Because if it was called her story, we'd also be in fucking elementary school learning about the dinosaurs. You know what I mean? A long story to tell, right? You just want to talk about the little horns and shit. I get it, like, you just want to know the facts. Nah, I just want to know the facts. Oh, man.
Tell the whole thing.
Tell the whole thing? That's right, girl. What's your name, ma'am? Christina? Cool. Christina, shut the fuck up. Alright, I'm only kidding. Don't come slap me, bro. I got alopecia, alright? I'm into couples, if you know what I'm saying. Obviously not you two. Pick the wise down. Cool. No, I don't know. My uncle, who's a lot like my father figure, because I really don't have a dad. He passed away recently. He lived in Florida, and I had to go there, and he left me my brother's house. And my uncle was a hoarder. Like, it was crazy, dude. Like, when I got there, his house was all dirty. There was a fucking rat, you know what I mean? And Florida's terrible. Like, I got COVID twice there. You know what I mean? Like once from my uncle when he was in the nursing home, and then the other one was, I named the rat COVID. So I got that motherfucker, right? He's gone, right? But when my uncle was dying, I remember when he was on his deathbed, and one of his biggest fears was that me and my brother was just going to take everything that he accumulated over his 86 years and just throw it away and sell it. And that's not what we did. And I told him that. I was like, Uncle Jack, just know in your heart that me and my brother are going to take everything of yours and keep it with us and cherish it forever. Except that 49ers hat. We're going to throw that shit in the garbage. You know what I mean? That's a hard joke to tell because I'm a 49ers fan. Sorry. If I was in New Orleans, I would have said the Tampa Bay Bucks. You know, it's just wherever I'm at, right? Pandering, you know? Sports, man. Sports in Seattle is crazy, right? Like, how many of you guys now have a basketball team, man? Like, what the fuck is going on, man? Well, here's a true Seattle fact. Since the year 2008, there have been more NBA players inside the Key Arena than Khloe Kardashian. I don't know. I fucked that one up. Sorry, guys. Take another shot! It is crazy, though, that you guys don't have a basketball team, but then, you know, or Seattle talks about being so diverse, but instead of getting a basketball team, they went and got a hockey team, the whitest thing ever. You know what I mean? Like, literally one letter from being off from being called the Crackers. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck, Seattle? What's next? A little NASCAR track around, you know, crazy, man. Oh, man, I'm telling you, dude. It's crazy, man. One time I was at the Comedy Underground, man. The homeless are ruthless, dude. I was at the Comedy Underground, and this guy was like, oh, are you a comedian? I was like, yeah. He goes, yeah, you are so ugly, you have to do Comedy Underground. I was like, oh, yeah, that shit was cold like the sidewalk he was sleeping on, you know what I mean? Like cold, dude. It was cold. I went camping, and my girlfriend was like, hey, you should get a board game when we're out there. And I was like, all right, whatever. So we go to Walmart. Do you guys know that there's 26 versions of Monopoly? Do you guys know that shit? That shit is crazy. So we narrowed it down to 2. We only bought one. The one that we passed up on was Monopoly for Millennials. I don't know if you've ever seen this. I was like, how the fuck do you win that game, right? You open the game up, hand out everything to everyone, and the one who wins is who complains about how unfair life is. Like, is that how that works, right? But the one we actually went with was Monopoly for homeless people. Yeah, that shit was crazy. I'm not even gonna lie. Yeah, that's real. I opened up the game, they didn't even have any properties to buy. It was just a bunch of railroads and go to jail spots, you know? Fucking community dumpster, you know? No chance. That shit was crazy, right? They did, alright, I'm lying. They did have one property, it was a methadone clinic, so, you know. They don't deal with houses and hotels, it's crazy. Like, if you have 4 sleeping bags, you get 110. It's fucking here. It's just weird, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy, man. Alright, I'm about to get out of here. I'm just gonna leave you on a couple more. Again, you guys have been an awesome crowd. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you, Sporty, for having us. Make sure to come back. Make sure to take care of all your bar staff and all of them too as well, alright? They're working hard. Keep them out of the strip clubs, guys. You know what I mean? Give them extra money, alright? And out of Hooters. Alright, so let's see what else was going on here I want to tell you about. Yeah, so I'm a big movie buff. I love movies. And one of my favorite movies of all time is Black Panther. I've actually seen it over 100 times. Actually, the last time I saw it, though, I saw it in the movie theater and I started a fight. Relax, it was with a white dude, I'm not stupid. And he was 15, I knew I could take him. But the reason I did that was because it actually gave me a chance to quote my most favorite movie of all time. Because when the lights were coming up and they were escorting me out, I just looked at everybody and I said, I'm sorry I had a fight in the middle of your Black Panther party. That was Titanic if you didn't get it. Alright, oh man, I have so many more fun jokes for you, but I forgot them. No. I'm sorry, I smoke a lot of weed. I'm fucking high all the time up here in my shit. No, dude, I smoke so much weed, Facebook can't even share my memories. You know what I mean? Like, it's fucking nuts. Alright, I'm gonna leave you on a couple of these stories here. So I do some traveling for comedy and go see family and stuff. And so one of my trips was I wanted to go to Hawaii. I've always wanted to go to Hawaii, so I just recently came back from Hawaii. I don't know if anyone's ever been, but the whole time I was fantasizing that when I get off the plane, they're going to give me this coconut drink, the girls are going to be huluing, and they're going to give you this leg. And they don't do that shit. I didn't know that. You right? Did you know that? Right? You have to pay $40 for it. It's a service. Yeah. Like, listen, if I'm going to pay $40 to get laid, I'll get on War Avenue. You know what I mean? Right? She's crazy, right? You know that. I got way too hard. I'll probably be sitting him there. You know. Oh, man, what's up? All right, cool. No. But when I was there, I actually slept. I slept with 4 of their native women. I did. It was awesome. And I'll be honest, guys, I didn't want to do it, but I fucked them all in the ass. I had to. The reason I didn't want to do it, I had to though. And the reason I did was because I did a 23andMe, and I found out that I come from a long line of colonizers. Colonizers. Thank you, sir. I always want to sneak that joke in. I love that joke. All right, two more, guys. This is also a story about actually on my flight back, how I got banned from Delta and fined $10,000. It was happening, I was sitting in my seat, and this beautiful woman comes and sits next to me in the window seat, and she looks over to me, and about 2 minutes after she sat down, and she goes, me and my husband are into some kinky shit, and he wants me to give a random stranger on this plane a blowjob. And we thought you would like to be that person. And I was like, I don't know why you would think that, but you're very astute. Let's do this shit, you know? So, very astute. So she's like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, come meet me in about a minute. I was like, cool. So sure enough, she goes to the bathroom, I go in there, she goes, okay, I only have one rule, don't come in my mouth. I said, no problem. So she starts going to work, I'm like, oh man. She's like, don't come in my mouth. I said, I won't. I'm like, oh man. She's like, don't come in my mouth. And then she did this twisty thing, and went, oh, and I came all in her mouth. I couldn't help it. Then she fucking started choking, busted out of the bathroom door, slammed up against the other bathroom door. The whole plane turns around and is looking at her. The stewardess is like, what the fuck? And all I could do was just come out and be like, She didn't tell me she had a nut allergy, guys. My fault. You know what I mean? So, here we are. Alright, guys, this is my last joke. This is my last joke. You guys, again, have been amazing. Thank you so much. I do a lot of crass jokes and crass material. Again, yeah, it's all for fun. You know, as long as there's no malicious intent, right? There's no hatred behind it. You know what I mean? You can make fun of anybody. You can make fun of anybody. It's called punching lines, you know? If you sit there and think that you can't make fun of somebody, you're actually putting a superiority complex over them, you know what I mean? So if everyone's equal, everyone should be made fun of, right? Because one time I was bartending, and I had this dude in a wheelchair come in, and he was awesome, but then he started getting drunk, right? And he became belligerent, and then he started bragging really bad, like, oh, I've been in NASA, I've been in NASCAR, I've been scuba diving, I've been skydiving, and he started making people uncomfortable. So I had to go over and I was like, hey dude, like calm down. And he's like, oh, what, you're not impressed with everything I've done? I go, bro, if you want to impress me, why don't you walk out on this tab? You know what I mean? Like, he was an asshole, so he deserved it, alright? You know what I mean? So again, that's a true story, but that's a funny joke, you know, that's true, but my friends and my family, they like, you need to do more personal material so people can relate to you. And I'm going to try that with you guys tonight, alright? I'm going to close with this. I don't do this very often. At the end of 2020, I lost my 2 twin sons in an auto accident. And people tell me all the time, Michael, time will heal your wounds. And it's not true, guys. It's been harder this year than it was the first year. Because the difference between this year and last year's tax return check was just fucking crazy, guys. Like, oh man, I was gonna buy rims this year, those selfish sons of bitches, right? Yeah, don't forget, guys, I had 5 abortions. Hey, thank you very much.
All right, perfect. Here we go. I want to take a moment and thank you guys for coming out, especially the wait staff. We got the wait staff running around serving you. Please give them a decent tip, not a lightweight tip, but a bigger tip than that. Please tonight, give them a tip. Thank you to Sporty. We got Joe, Alon, and Jack over there. We also have another show coming up on May 7th. So we got some flyers we're going to be handing out here. And come on down. There's also going to be a flyer that has the comics, names, and social media. So if you heard something tonight that made you laugh, you get home and you're like, who said that? You got a piece of paper that says it, follow us. We're out there performing all over the area. We also have another winner here. I'm sure this guy right here is participation. Give him a round of applause, y'all. One last joke. So I was with my girlfriend in bed the other day with the lights on, and we were starting to fool around. And I looked over to her, and I looked her in her eyes, and I said, honey, I'm really happy because if I was ugly, the lights would be off. And she looked at me and she goes, you're right. And I'm like, I'm right in a relationship. Oh my God. And then she said, Alexa, turn the lights off. So I'm unplugging Alexa when I get home tonight. All right, guys, you've been amazing. We're going to bring the comics up, so can all the comics please report front and center? Come up here. We're going to say the applause for our boss here. Every comic, get that right up here. These comics have been writing and working their ass the material. And here we go. We got, here they come, here they come, here they come. And we got Big Sal. You know who's slower than the rest. All right, guys. Go ahead and cue the music. And thank you guys so much for having me. A big round of applause for everybody tonight. Thank you. Get home safe. Thank you.
Are you waiting for our picture?
Here we go.